To give us a walkthrough on the e-IPCRF, let's watch this video of Mr. Kevin Milo, ITO from the Island Garden of Samal Division.
Welcome to this step-by-step tutorial for the updated electronic IPCRF tool version 4.2. Please be advised that we have uploaded a new version of the tool as of this morning. Make sure to download that new version, which includes fixes to known issues and improvements for a smoother user experience. However, if you've already started using the older version 4.2, don't worry, as the online submission system will still accept it if you somehow manage to complete all parts without any errors. Let's begin. Before we dive into the tutorial, ensure you have the latest version, which is 4.2, of the electronic IPCRF tool downloaded from the Google Drive link. This new version will provide a more reliable and seamless experience while crafting your individual performance commitment and review form. Once you have version 4.2 downloaded, open the macro-enabled Excel workbook file with Microsoft Office 2010, 2013, 2016, 2019, 2021, or Office 365 for desktops, or Office 365 and 2016 for Mac. Remember, this tool is not compatible with mobile devices like iOS and Android phones or tablets. Before we proceed, remember to enable content or macros within the workbook. Macros are essential for the tool to function correctly. Just click Enable Macros or Enable Content. Now that you've opened the tool, you'll be directed to the Info worksheet. Select your career stage, either Proficient or Highly Proficient. This will update the table below with a corresponding list of objectives and scoring weights. Should you encounter any error at this point, you may click on the Fix button below the table, and the tool will attempt to fix itself. After selecting your career stage, you may click on the Proceed button. On the next page, you will be shown the privacy notice. Click the Agree button if you agree. And on the next page, you will need to input your demographic profile, such as your school information, your personal information, and your teaching experience. Let's begin with your school information. Note that most of these fields have drop-down options, like region. We highly advise that you select from the given drop-down options instead of manually typing your input. Next, input your division, the district or municipality, the school ID, the school name, the school type, the school size, and the curricular classification. Let's say grade 7 to grade 12. On the next section will be your personal information. You will need your name, your employee ID, your position, employment status, age, and sex. On the next section will be your teaching experience. Your highest degree obtained, the level taught, and your debit email address. And below that, you need to tick all the boxes that apply for grade levels taught, areas of specialization, and subjects taught. Again, if you encounter any errors at this point, you may again click on the Fix button just below so the tool can attempt to fix itself. If you have completed the input, you may click Next. Note that after this, you will not be able to edit your name or your employee ID. So confirm that you have the correct input. Click Yes to confirm. This will ask for your ratee's password, so you must nominate a password for yourself. Let's say this. Then click Go. All right, we wait for the tool to process. All right, if you are shown the status sheet, then the tool is ready for the next step. On the status sheet, you will see your school's information and the ratee's information, as well as the status of completion. If you need to edit your profile, simply click Edit Profile and input the ratee's password. You will then be redirected to the demographic profile page. If you would like to proceed to the next part, you may do so by opening the encoding part 1. For this part, the rater must input his or her information, such as the name, the position, ID number, depot email, and the date of review. To begin encoding ratings, the rater must first select a subject in COT1. So this corresponds to the subject that was observed during the class observation. After selecting a subject, the ratings column will now be enabled and you may start inputting your ratings. And then at the bottom, provide the date observed, and then input the subject for COT2. If for whatever reason there was no classroom observation or there was no second classroom observation, you may select No Classroom Observation and the tool will automatically give a score of 1. Now on the next columns, you need to input the quality, efficiency, and timely ratings. All right, let's complete this. All right. Then at the bottom, you need to provide the name of the approving authority. The position, ID number, and the email address. Once all details are inputted, you may click Finalize Part 1. This will ask for the rater's password. So this is another set of password nominated by the rater. So the ratee or anyone else can't accidentally or intentionally change the values. So click Go, and then you will see at the status sheet that Part 1 and Part 3 are now checked. This means that they are finalized. If you look to the encoding Part 1 page, The background has now turned red, indicating that it is locked. Now the rater may unlock or unfinalize this if should any need arises by clicking the Unfinalize Part 1 button. Otherwise, the ratee may proceed to encoding Part 2. On this page, the ratee need only click or tick on the boxes. So these indicators, or these boxes, correspond to the indicators that the ratee thinks he or she has demonstrated during the rating cycle. All right. Then click Finalize Part 2. This will ask for the ratee's password. And again, when it's finalized and locked, it will show here as a check in the status sheet. Now we only have Part 4 remaining. If you navigate to Part 4, you will see the template for the development plans. Here, the strengths and the development needs have already been sorted or prioritized based on the scores that was derived from Part 2 and Part 1. Now, the ratee must complete the action plan, these 4 columns, to complete this form. So only the first three development needs are required. The rest are optional. So we'll put in any information here just to save time. As well as here at the core behavioral competencies. All right. Now that's done, click Finalize Part 4 and then input the ratee's password. Oops. All right, the background has turned red. That means it's locked. All right. Now that you've finished inputting or encoding your data, you may now print the different parts of your e-IPCRF. Now note that only parts 1, 2, 3, and 4, or only these sheets should be printed. No need to print encoding part 1 or encoding part 2. Parts 1, 2, 3, and 4 are the only sheets that were formatted for printing. So if you look at this sheet, you will see that your input have already been formatted into the correct template. So when you print it, you'll see that it's formatted for printing on an A4 paper. You may also change the paper size if you wish. You may also adjust the row heights if you want, and you may even adjust the page breaks. But there's no need for that right now. Let's look at part 2. Part 3 and part 4. If you look at the print preview, it looks like that. So everything seems to be in order. And lastly, you must check the status. All parts must be or must have the check symbol. Only then can the submission and consolidation system accept your file. If you wish to hide your forms, you may do so by clicking Show or Hide All Forms. Select your user type and then input your password. So either the ratee or the rater can show or hide the forms. Now that I've hidden all the forms, only the status sheet is visible. If you want to show them, just click the button again, select the user type, let's say rater, and then input the password. And the parts are now shown again. Just a few tips and tricks for using the tool. So if at any point you encounter any error, any suspicious error, like a macro error, for example, you may go to the status sheet, scroll down just a little bit, and then again, you will see the fix button. Just click that, and the tool will attempt to fix any error. For printing, say for part 1, I mentioned that you may adjust the row heights. Sometimes when dragging the row headers, you might drag it in a way that shows some of the hidden rows like this. These rows are supposed to be hidden, they're blank. But now that I've dragged the row, it seems to be showing these extra rows, right? So to fix that, you may try to, I know you cannot hide it from here manually. So to fix that, find the button that says Reset Rows. It's at the top, at the side of the name of the rater. There's a button that says Reset Rows. Just click that, and those extra rows should now be hidden again. Right. In part 4 as well, if you need to hide these extra rows, you can. But first, you need to unfinalize or unlock this part. So you can click Unfinalize Part 4, input your ratee's password, click Go. Now it's unfinalized. To hide these rows, you need to select these empty cells here, and then you can right-click on the row header and select Hide. Right. So now you only see the top 3 strengths and development needs. You can do so also for the core behavioral competencies. Just highlight the empty cells, then right-click on the row header and click Hide. Now, if you want to show those rows again, in case you made a mistake, you can click the Reset Rows button at the top. And they're shown again. So congratulations to us. We have now successfully completed all the parts in the electronic e-IPCRF tool version 4.2. Now the tool is ready for submission and consolidation. But before submitting, double check that all sheets, including part 1, 2, 3, and 4, are finalized. You can see it here. And now we've verified that all parts are checked. Once everything is in order, proceed with the submission process. Submit your finalized e-IPCRF form to the appropriate authority for consolidation and further processing. Thank you for watching, and we hope this tutorial has been helpful. Have a fantastic day!